Blossom's little girl here is very interesting. At first I thought these lines on her were longer fur or something, but the more I look, the more I think she's got brindle patterning, as well as the moon spots, which are these darker spots here. But yeah, the more I look at her, that looks like brindle striping. Faint, but there. I don't know if you can see it. It's the lines going this way. Hi, little one. I just had her have a big drink off of Mama. Now, she is what you would call a dumb baby. Sometimes you get smart babies and smart mamas. Sometimes you get dumb mamas. Sometimes you get dumb babies. Sometimes you get both a dumb baby and a dumb mama, which is kind of what I've got going on here. Isn't that right, little one? She thinks she does not need to open her mouth to have a meal. So I have to chain Mama to the wall because Mama, doesn't think that this is her baby. So I chain Mama to the wall. I show her her baby, let her smell it. She shows no interest. And then I put baby in place. And then I have to pop her mouth open and then shove her head up on the teat. And then she likes to weave her head when she's nursing, so I have to hold her head in place or she'll drop the teat and I have to open her mouth and shove her up on the teat again. So in another day or two, they should both be a little more practiced at this whole routine. And it shouldn't be so hard. Right, baby? It shouldn't be so hard. It's not that hard to eat. You could open your mouth. You can't get that teat in there with a closed mouth. But she tries to suck with her mouth closed. We'll get it. We'll get it. A little bit of patience and lots of love. We'll get it. But that's why I've got these two in here alone, so that Mama can start accepting her baby and not tricking herself into thinking it's somebody else's. It's yours and yours alone, my dear Blossom. Yeah, it came out from back there. That's what happens. She's gonna be a really pretty girl. Subtle, but pretty. More on Tiny's group. We've got a lovely blue roan buckling with a white partial belt. Then we've got two brown roans, one with a much darker stripe and more black on them, both with partial belts. She doesn't seem to like this guy very much, but the other two she's okay with. But don't worry, I'm out here making sure they all get their meals. Right, Tiny? You get so much milk, you don't need to scrimp and save. You got enough to feed a small army. I might get her up on the milk stand to feed that last guy. Still waiting on these two. And Milky. So yeah, just 3 left to kid, and then the season will be done. But I do like to get video of all the kids so I can ID who belongs to who later on, right? You guys have cute little faces. Yeah, you've got nice black points on you. Is Mommy gonna accept you? No. We'll see. I've seen some signs over here of Blossom accepting her little girl. Used to be she'd be at the farthest point possible, and now I've seen them snuggled together under the heat lamp. And I've actually seen her sniff her baby, so progress is being made in acceptance there. That's why it's just the two of them in the whole big wide stall. So that there's no distractions. Nobody for Blossom to love but her baby. Yes, you guys are so cute. You guys are so cute. Oh, you getting some hops? Are you getting happy? Lots of tail wagging happening. Hi. Oh, I love this color, the blue roan and the copper points. Even just normal blue roan, it's a gorgeous color. Since all three of these boys are boys, and Mama there has such fantastic breed character and a very capacious, high-producing udder, I might keep these three as intact and maybe sell them as breeding bucks. I'll have to see and assess them as they grow a little bit, who has the best conformation and skin and whatnots, but they have good potential. They've got the genetics behind them to be good breeders. But all three of these guys did get a meal before I started filming. These are teeny tiny baby hops. Fresh baby hops. They definitely get more vigorous as they get older. I love the long waggy tails. I've seen goats with shorter tails, but I like the long tails. It's nice when it's cold out and they can tuck a long tail down and keep their nether bits warmer. You did a good job, Tiny. You did. You did. Unfortunately, this stall doesn't get the same kind of sunlight that we have in other stalls. It's quite thoroughly in the barn, and I don't have an artificial light here. But that's why, when the weather's good, I leave the barn door open, shine some light in. Unfortunately, it makes it a little harder to see the babies. Let's see who we got here. Got Feline with her little look-alike baby. And we got these little delights. Oh, you're not showing up with the light against the background there. Backlighting doesn't help. Hi, cutie. Hi. Hi, little one. Let's try this angle. Still not great. One thing I like about Sig's kids is they've got a lot of width between the back legs, which I was kind of lacking in my herd. I'm seeing that a lot in his kids. This isn't his mom, but he's sneaking milk anyways, because his sister is drinking everything their mom's providing, even though she's the teeniest, tiniest, littlest goat you'd ever see. They're so dark, it's hard to get good pictures, I'm sorry. But they're so beautiful. I love this, just black with some copper on them. I need them on a white background. There you go, you provided a white background, Mom. Look at that. Very cooperative. Hi, little dude. Hi, you're the only boy in here. I'm actually liking how this little girl's turning out. She may be absolutely petite and compact, but her proportions are quite nice. That's your boy, you silly girl. That's your boy. You're supposed to feed him too. Don't worry, I don't let any babies go hungry here. Whether I put them on a different mom or give them a bottle, they'll be looked after. Oh, here, can I see you now? With the light? Yes, you're such a pretty girl. You are. You've got light legs, and your cousin, who otherwise looks almost the same as you, has dark legs. So pretty. I can't wait for these girls to grow up. Yes. Yes. Yes, you're a darling too. Just because I love the babies doesn't mean I don't love the mamas. You're just my little sweetheart, aren't you? Yeah, you were sweet as a baby and you're still sweet as a mama. Yeah, really not the best doll to be taking video in. Sorry about that. Mrs. Leona, every time we fill water, she's up here for pets. Isn't that right? You also get cuddles all the time in the milk stall, walking from one area to another. You come and say, pick me up and love me. She's my friendliest kitty. And yes, she's got one shorter ear. That's because she was spayed and got her shots through a stray program, because it was like $50 or something like that to get that done, as opposed to the astronomical sum otherwise. So I was willing to let her part with an ear tip, even though she's a farm cat, not a stray. Isn't that right? Yes. Yes. He's a good girl. And she is so soft, like you just cannot understand or imagine how soft she is, especially with her winter coat. Love petting her, just like sinking my face into her fur in the winter. I'm out here in the barnyard. We got all the goats. We got our 2 feathered goats. And then everyone's out on pasture. We made a path to get through the mud for them. Oh, gotta get my glove off to zoom. There we go. Baby's out on pasture with mamas. Got a little group over here. 2 boys and Frost. There's the bird yard. My prettiest goose, my Buff. Right there. And we have the rest of the goats. Oh, I've been spotted. I have to be very careful out here because the door I came out doesn't close from the outside, and it opens to the milk room, and they all have a tendency to bust open that door and go for it. I was really happy to see that right there. That's not her daughter, that's her niece, but I've grafted her on successfully, which is great. Looks like Nellie's doing babysitting duty today. Got most of the kids there. It's all good. It's starting to dry up here, which is nice. I know it still looks really wet, but believe me, it's starting to dry up. Of course, we're going to get a ton of rain on Friday again, but for now, we'll enjoy what we get. Oh, that's who that is. That? No, that's not Milky. Is that Milky? That might be Milky. I've got one goat out here that's pregnant. She'd been inside for a while, but she needed out for some sunshine and fresh air. Yeah, I think that's Milky. I don't see her anywhere else. Of course, there might be someone in the east running. Might be why she's alone, 'cause she's been apart from this group for a while. Well, it's worked. They're bonded. Blossom looked for and made noises looking for her baby when I picked it up. And it still had a full belly, and it's been hours since I made sure it ate. And I put it down, and lo and behold, she's feeding her baby. Patience. You need patience and at least a whole week, and then mommy and baby bond. It's not always going to work, but usually patience wins out. I've also successfully grafted at least one kid, if not two, so far this spring on other mums that are out in the pasture. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this result. She's bonded with her own kid.
Hi.
We've got all 13 of the older kids in here. Hi, Nellie. Because we're gonna milk for the first time tomorrow. Some of these guys are a little bit old for that, but just took us a while to get organized. Figure out how to block that door. Baby, don't eat it. This is copper, silver, and gold. They're Cinnamon's babies, which means they're my bottle babies. And they are underfoot always. Isn't that right? I love Silver. She is a gorgeous little doeling. Sorry, I know, not the best light. Because so many kids wondering, why can't I go back out through the hole? I normally can. I'm stuck and I don't know why. But they've got kid starter. They've got their water. They've got fresh hay. And all each other and buddies to curl up and play with and lay down. Let's see, Gideon, if you run, will they follow?
Yeah.
Oh, they're too busy trying to get my bottle. Just a second, let me put the bottle out of the way.
Okay. Now.
Okay, let's try again. Earlier he was running and they were following him and it was really cute. Oh, one found the water.
I'm trying to close.
Here, I'll hold the door.
Hey.
Aw, nobody's following.
Aw.
Silver.
We'll try it tomorrow.
But these guys are just so underfoot all the time.
Yeah.
My three biggest bottle babies. He's not so bad, but the girls are. Guys, you can't go back with your mamas tonight. She's not going to work. The mamas are going to get milked.
Dry.
You know, you guys are too much in a huddle. How about we get a few of you out? Oh my goodness, you're in there tight. Oh, you're getting all hot and steamy in there. Come on.
And now we keep
There.
the door. Touch your clothes.
There, that's better.
Now we're trying the other door. Now they're trying the other door. That's a problem, right?
Yeah. How you doing, Nellie? Are you being a good
Our
girl?
first cow on the farm.
You're being a chunkster. Oh,
Oh. I love
I know. I'll give you pets after. The mamas were calling for their babies a couple minutes ago, but they're done already, so they don't really care too much. Oh, we've done that. We've done that. Sorry, I know this is a little chaotic. But yeah. Gideon, we don't have a stuck baby there, do we? With the ladder? I might move that ladder a little bit and make sure that there's a bit more room. But yeah. Milk tomorrow.
Milk tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. We are all super excited about goat's milk.
Yep.
Silver, you are my favorite. Look how she has her ears out.
Yeah, whenever she runs.
Always has her ears out. She's such a funny goat. But she's got a beautiful, beautiful face, and her top line's nice. It's just everything about her. She catches my eye. Hi. Hi, Silver. There, can we get a nice, oh yeah, nice view of your face? Can we get a nice view of your face? There. Actually, most of them have a nice Roman nose this year, I've noticed.
That baby is trying to eat my leg.
Maybe not that one, but for the most part, the kids have a nice Roman nose, so it's good. Anyways, I'll move that ladder so it's not so tight, and we'll see you
The baby
another
is
time.
trying to